Have you ever wondered how deep heritage can run? How a family's journey from Central Europe could echo through the glass towers of Silicon Valley or Wall Street? Stick around, because today we're diving into a fascinating, little-known side of global wealth. You've heard the names: Larry Page, Michael Bloomberg, Roman Abramovich. But what if I told you these titans of industry, worth billions, share a common thread that stretches all the way back to Poland? You won't want to miss this, because some of the world's most powerful figures have roots in the places you might least expect. And if this kind of content sparks your curiosity, consider joining the channel as a member to support what we do and get even more behind-the-scenes insights into stories the mainstream rarely touches. Let's start with one of the most powerful and elusive tech titans in the world, Larry Page, the co-founder of Google and a key architect of the modern internet. He's often painted as a low-key genius, someone who'd rather be inventing flying cars than giving interviews. But behind that innovative drive lies a quiet family legacy. Larry Page's mother, Gloria, was born to a family of Polish-Jewish descent. Growing up, Page was surrounded by academics, scientists, and a deep appreciation for logic and technology. But it's easy to overlook the immigrant history that came before that. His maternal ancestors came from Eastern Europe, fleeing instability and persecution like millions of others in the Jewish diaspora. That journey, rooted in seeking freedom and opportunity, set the foundation for a family that valued education, exploration, and big ideas. Without that history, there's a chance the Page we know today might never have existed. And what about Michael Bloomberg, a billionaire media mogul, philanthropist, and one-time mayor of New York City? Bloomberg is known for being decisive, data-driven, and incredibly ambitious. But behind the Manhattan skyline and financial empire lies a story that begins far from Wall Street. Bloomberg's maternal grandfather, Max Rubens, was a Polish-Jewish immigrant who came to the US seeking a better life. Like many immigrants at the time, he faced language barriers, discrimination, and a brutally tough job market. But he persevered. Bloomberg grew up hearing those stories. Stories of grit, of getting by with little, and of refusing to quit. It's easy to forget that behind one of the richest men in America is a legacy rooted in Eastern European struggle and determination. Let's move from finance to coffee. Howard Schultz, the man who turned Starbucks into a global powerhouse. Schultz's journey from Brooklyn housing projects to CEO boardrooms is well known, but his Polish-Jewish heritage is a quieter part of that story. His father, Fred, worked low-wage jobs and often struggled to support the family, but that struggle is what shaped Howard's outlook. His ancestors too had fled from Poland under difficult circumstances, carrying with them not just physical belongings but values, resilience, family, and the dream of a better life. Schultz has often spoken about how witnessing his father's hardships motivated him to create a company where employees would be treated with dignity. That vision, in part, was born from the legacy of immigrants who worked themselves to the bone, hoping their children would never have to. Next, we look at Leon Black, a titan of private equity and the co-founder of Apollo Global Management. His name might not be as recognizable as Page or Schultz, but in the world of finance, Black's influence is immense. And like many powerful American families, his story also starts in Poland. Leon's father, Eli M. Black, was born in Poland and eventually rose to prominence in the US business world before Leon took the reins of the family's financial legacy. The Black family's immigrant background wasn't a glitzy one. Eli's rise was marked by long odds, long hours, and relentless determination. Leon inherited that drive, sharpened it in elite schools, and built an empire. But it's important to remember that it all started with a move across continents and a leap of faith. Now let's cross the Atlantic for someone who didn't just have Polish heritage, he was born and raised there. Jan Kulczyk was one of Poland's richest and most influential businessmen. He was born in Bydgoszcz, and unlike many billionaires in this list, he didn't emigrate. He thrived within Poland itself. During the 1990s, as communism fell and Poland transitioned into a market economy, Kulczyk saw opportunity where others saw chaos. He made early investments in telecommunications, energy, and banking, and quickly built a financial empire. He's a great example of post-communist ambition, someone who understood the shifting tides of geopolitics and used his knowledge to shape Poland's economy from the ground up. His legacy lives on through the Kulczyk Foundation and a new generation of entrepreneurs inspired by his bold moves. On the more complex end of the spectrum, we have Roman Abramovich, a figure best known for his extravagant lifestyle and ownership of Chelsea Football Club. While he's typically tied to Russia, Abramovich has a multi-layered heritage that includes deep Polish Jewish roots on his mother's side. Those roots, like many from that region, are steeped in displacement, war, and survival. Though he rose to prominence in post-Soviet Russia, his family history reflects a broader Eastern European Jewish experience, marked by resilience, reinvention, and a constant search for safety and prosperity. His global success and wealth may look far removed from his ancestry, but beneath the layers of power lies a shared story of migration and identity. And finally, one of the most fascinating figures from the early 20th century, Helena Rubinstein. Born in Krakow, Poland, she was a pioneer in the beauty industry long before female entrepreneurship was common or accepted. Rubinstein built a cosmetics empire that spanned continents, and she did it at a time when women were barely allowed to own property, let alone run international businesses. Her journey from a poor Jewish neighborhood in Poland to a Parisian salon, and eventually to New York's elite, is nothing short of revolutionary. She understood branding, image, and marketing in a way that was decades ahead of her time. Her roots in Polish Jewish culture played a huge role in her relentless pursuit of independence and excellence. So what's the big takeaway here? Whether it's Silicon Valley, Wall Street, London, or Warsaw, behind many of the world's most powerful billionaires is a story of movement, struggle, and survival. These Polish roots aren't just background details. They're core to the values, decisions, and worldviews that shaped these billionaires' paths. In an era obsessed with success and influence, it's refreshing and grounding to remember that many of the great stories begin with humble origins and a suitcase full of dreams. If you found this video eye-opening, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let us know in the comments which of these stories surprised you the most. And if you really want to support more thoughtful, deeply researched content like this, consider joining the channel as a member. You'll unlock exclusive content, help us keep going strong, and become part of a community that values the stories behind the success. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep exploring the stories that matter.